Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 6. We would like to present the topic of value chain analysis and life cycle costing.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sabarini binti Muhammad, and I will be proceed with the definition of value chain analysis. Okay, the definition of value chain analysis is a process where a firm identifies its primary and support activities that add value to its final product and then analyze these activities to reduce costs or increase differentiation. A value chain concentrates on the activities starting with raw materials till the conversion into the final good or services. So the ultimate goals using value chain analysis is to maximize value creation while also monitoring and minimizing costs. There are two types of activities involved under value chain analysis, which are primary and also support activities. Primary activities are directly concerned with creating and delivering a product, while support activities assist the primary activities in helping the organization achieve its competitive advantage.
Hello everyone, my name is Kairunisa Nabila binti Kamim. I would like to present the purpose or objective of value chain analysis. First, value chain analysis enables to break down the company logistic, operation, and infrastructure to reveal the true value of a product or service. It helps a company to discern area of businesses that are inefficient, then implement strategy that will optimize its procedure for maximum efficiency and profitability. To ensure that the production mechanics are seamless and efficient, it's critical that businesses keep customers feeling confident and secure enough to remain loyal. The overarching goal of a value chain is to deliver the most value for the least cost in order to create a competitive advantage. Gaining a competitive advantage over rival businesses can help you boost the company profit and entice new customers. It can evaluate the primary and secondary business function and identify ways to improve efficiency, increase the value, and stand out from the crowd.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hidayah binti Apandi and I will present the history of value chain analysis. The term value chain analysis was rapidly coined in 1982 by Keith Oliver of Bose Allen Hamilton and became widely used after the publication of a professor at Harvard Business School, Michael Porter's seminal work, Competitive Advantage Creating and Sustaining Superior Performance in 1985. Porter developed the concept to analyze specific activities through which companies may create value by breaking down their activities into value added. Porter distinguished two important value adding, which are primary activities that add value to final product directly and support activities that add value indirectly. The value chain analysis illustrated by Michael Porter remains an indispensable methodology. Having evolved and adapted over the years, companies and industry specialists continue to successfully implement Porter's value chain analysis.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shaira binti Ahmad and I will explain to you why value chain analysis popularly adopted by corporations. Value chain analysis is a technique that easily enables organizations to identify which are profitable value-creating activities. The organization will then be able to identify areas with lower cost to access to raw materials, distribution channel, or innovative process technology. The organization will also be able to compare the activities with the competitors. Through the comparison of action with the competitors, they can easily able to focus on the customer perceived value of the product and services and evaluate differentiation strategies. This will help organizations find innovative ways to perform value-creating activities, which will resulting in improved overall performance and competitive advantage.
Okay, next is usefulness of value chain analysis. It creates a better product planning, research and development. It also can create a cross-platform term involving the standardization of processes by measuring the metrics of the business. Second one is reduction in cost by optimizing the value chain components or activities. And also it can improve flow of materials and products through accurate forecasting of sales as well as demands. Lastly, the usefulness of value chain analysis is it can help in improvement in after-sales services and customer support in that company. Okay, next is limitation of value chain analysis. So while there are many advantages of conducting a value chain analysis, there is one major potential drawback. When the company focusing too much on micro details, the broader strategic view can get lost. It will increase on difficulty in identifying the tasks that can add the real value. After all, the main purpose of value chain analysis is to evaluate company operation segment by segment to increase efficiency in each area. But the value chain analysis does a poor job of linking each activity in the chain together. Secondly, it is possible to lose sight of how the activities broadly interrelate. It will cause the loss to the company. Next is it can break down an organization operation into segments that can lead to the firm losing its overall business strategy and vision. This is because sometimes it is impossible to understand how the activity relate to each other actually.
Okay, next, the process or step in order to implement the value chain analysis. Step 1. Determine the primary and support activity of your company. Step 2. Identify and analyze the value and cost of each of these activities. Step 3. Determine way to gain a competitive advantages by discovering the cost advantages and discovering differentiation advantages. Step 4. Repeat the analysis.
Example of company that implement value chain analysis is Starbucks. Starbucks has gained many benefits through implementation of this technique. For primary activities, Starbucks have a strong relationship with coffee bean supplier, which has built up an efficient supply chain management system. Analysis of primary activities also leads Starbucks in improving productivity, maximize the efficiency, and ensure the competitive success of Starbucks, and help them to achieve consistent economic growth, increase profitability, as well as set a powerful basis for competitive advantage. Starbucks has also achieved its business growth objective, increased their customer satisfaction, developed the brand equity, and helped them stand out from the competition. The service offered by Starbucks helps increase the perception of the service quality to a considerable extent and develop customer loyalty. For support activity, Starbucks has improved their infrastructure by employing store managers on site that help to oversee well-designed and pleasing stores. They also have improved efficient level of finance, accounting, and legal department, as well as efficient management of human resource, as they is known for taking care of its workforce. Moreover, Starbucks now has launched several platforms and use systems which make it easier for the customer to order a drink, ask questions, give suggestions, and openly express opinion. Starbucks has also focused on procure its products from suppliers that guarantee quality and follow ethical practice.
So now, we move to suggestions for improvement on this technique. As a whole, value chain analysis uses excessive time and effort to complete a product because it has two categories of activities, which are primary and support activities. The effect here, there may be some activities that exceed the expected time. So the best solution are they need to improve their working hour to be more organized and do the work quickly to produce the outcome. To be more productive, they can hire more analytical skill and expertise worker to save time and use less effort.
Okay, let's proceed with the definition of life cycle costing. Life cycle costing means the present value of the total cost of that asset over its operating life, including capital cost, occupation cost, its operating cost, and cost or benefit of the eventual disposal of the asset at the end of its life. All future costs are reduced to present value by the use of discounting techniques, so the economic worth of a project can be assessed. It is also called as whole life costing. The meaning is the process of estimating how much money the company will spend on an asset over the course of its useful life. Conducting a life cycle cost analysis helps the organization estimate how much an asset will cost them over the course of its life. This also will help in making best decision for company. If the organization only factor in the initial cost of an asset, they could end up spending more in the long run. For example, buying a used asset might have a lower price tag, but it could cost more in repairs and utility bill than a newer model.
The purpose or objective of life cycle costing is to minimize the total cost of ownership of the utility infrastructure to its customer and giving a desired level of sustained performance. It supports management consideration affecting decision during any life cycle phase. It identifies the attribute of the asset which significantly influence the life cycle cost driver so that the asset can be effectively managed. It identifies the cash flow requirement for the project. It helps to evaluate the decision at design stage by looking at its economic implication. It evaluates the investment option and opportunities effectively. It evaluates the project in terms of total life cycle cost instead of total initial cost. It ensures the effective management of the asset over its whole life.
History of life cycle costing. Officially, life cycle costing was coined in 1965 in a report entitled Life Cycle Costing in Equipment Procurement published at the United States Logistics Management Institute. Life cycle costing was foremost developed and used in the United States by the Department of Defense (USDOD) in the mid-1960s, when USDOD started improving the efficiency of weapon system investment. The USDOD applied LCC in the procurement of military equipment. Afterward, in 1974, the concept of LCC was formally adopted by the United States Department of Health, Education and Welfare in Florida in a project entitled Life Cycle Budgeting and Costing as an Aid in Decision Making. In the United Kingdom, the history of the application of LCC began in the late 1950s. In Europe, the LCC methodology has been introduced since the 1970s. Since then, the construct is widely used in both private and public sectors every bit good as in different capital goods industries.
Why life cycle costing is properly adopted by corporations? Life cycle costing helps organizations to easily determine better profitability and enables the effective decision making that can result to higher profitability. It also enables comparison from one product to another, which can help the organization to focus on the cost at every stage. Life cycle costing will also enable the organization to reduce the cost of production and can select the most profitable product to be made.
Okay, next we will proceed with usefulness of life cycle costing. The first one is it can create budgets that represent the actual expenses of the business when the management of company know how much total price of an asset. The next one is the engineer can redesign the product by withdrawing some feature to reduce costs at the early stage when products are not mass produced yet. And the next one is we will able to look at the full budget which covers the lifetime of the product, include all the expenses and revenue. We also can help in selecting the highest profitable product in decision making and also maximizing shareholder wealth in a company. Last one, the usefulness of the life cycle costing is it will encourage the organization to have a long-term view rather than a short-term view and get the higher bonus in sales of the company. Okay, next is limitation of life cycle costing. One of the limitation is this technique is using estimated only. This method relies heavily on the estimation of revenue that received from market research and past experience. If anything wrong with this sale figure, the whole system will not work. The product will decrease the profit or even make loss to the company. The life cycle cost technique also is not flexible when the market change. The life cycle expect the market to precisely the same as the product gets to develop and to be produced and sell to the market, but everything change from time to time, so it will be impact the product life and also the demand from the customer matching over the time. Okay, next is for small company. Using this technique will make them to facing early struggle for profitability. The life cycle costing method spreads the expense of an asset out evenly over several years. It will allow the company to deduct more of the asset expense in the initial years of the use, and it is important when a company are starting a business and need as many write-off as possible to reach profitability.
Process or step in order to implement the life cycle costing. Step 1. Establish the objective. Step 2. Choose a method. Step 3. Formulate assumption. Step 4. Identify the cost and rank the alternative. Step 5. Compare the cost and rank the alternative. Step 6. Perform a sensitivity analysis. Step 7. Investigate the capital cost costing.
Example of company that implement LCC is MIT Concrete Sustainability Hub, CS Hub. The implementation of LCC helps CS Hub in evaluating the economic impacts of building and pavement in various ways. CS Hub used the LCC to compare alternative designs, evaluate payback periods for proposed improvement, and calculate the cost effectiveness of environmental improvement strategies. The implementation of LCC by CS Hub helps them estimate the cost of repairs due damage from hazards, enable calculation of a payback period for more hazard-resistant construction, and provide more accurate maintenance and repair budget. Calculate life cycle costs also help building designer of CS Hub easily select material and designs that are expected to incur the lowest cost across the life of a building. Furthermore, LCC accounts for future maintenance and operational activities, so CS Hub can get more comprehensive result and more accurate portrayal of the actual economic burden associated with infrastructure than the initial cost alone.
Now we go to solution to improve this technique. The problem is this technique relies heavily on the estimation of revenue that received from market research and past experience. The effect here, it will lead to wrong information at the final result. In order to solving this problem, they need to clearly identify and calculate the specification of the long-term revenue from the beginning and along the process. so that they will be more aware for their profitability situation and can take a quick action if there is a possibility for the company will incur losses.